The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sportsbook. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report, where we're going to be talking about some national and various state sports betting reports that have happened over the last week. We've got a few deals to discuss as well, some including Betfred and IMG Arena. A couple of launches to talk about, as well as the Premier League's decision regarding shirt sponsorships. We'll talk about that,
too. Yeah.
And then we'll round out the show like we always do with a legislative update. And this week we'll be talking about some other news coming out of North Carolina, California, Maine. And also even Massachusetts, if we have time. Just a small story coming out of Massachusetts. But we'll get things started. If you're following along on TV, you'll see a lot of news stories floating along on the ticker below us as it's going by.
Yes, scroll below us. Am I pointing at it right?
You're pointing at it right. Okay. And also, after this show is released, you'll see a full print version of the book report on our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button, and there'll be a full print version of the stories we talk about today, as well as stories we didn't have a chance to hit in the time frame allotted for the show. But first, we're going to start off, as usual, with some numbers. Well, it's July, so that means Arizona reported their April numbers.
Okay, right.
Yes, I know that sounds funny, but they do...
well, did they do well in April? Was it worth the wait?
Well, what that means, we'll get to Arizona in a minute.
Okay.
Well,
you brought it up.
I know. We'll talk about the April numbers overall, because now we can close the book on April. We can now discuss the top 10 states by handle in April.
Okay. Hey, can I guess? Can I take a guess at the
I don't need to say who number one is.
Number one is New York.
Yes.
I want to say number two is New Jersey. Number three, we just talked to Chris Altruda a couple weeks ago, and he's from Illinois, so I have Illinois on the brain. So Illinois number three?
Yes.
Now, I'm curious.
Let me put it this way.
Can it be Nevada?
You just named the only three states that were above $600 million in total handle.
Okay.
For the month.
Was I right? So the top three were...
In the right order.
New York, number one. New Jersey, number two.
New Jersey,
Illinois,
just so you know,
number three.
had just under $927 million.
Okay. Now, I'm wavering between for 4 and 5. Nevada and Pennsylvania, are they somewhere in the top 5?
They are 4 and 5.
They are 4 and 5.
Yes.
Okay. How close did Pennsylvania get to beating Nevada?
They were only about maybe, I'd say, 15 million apart.
Okay. Only 15 million.
Only 15
I like the way
million.
how we talk numbers.
Yeah, you have to do in relative terms.
It's only 15 million.
I mean, it's just like when you're talking baseball salaries. So. You know, it's these numbers are just numbers now. They're it's just kind of it's addition now and subtraction between the two. And Arizona almost cracked the top 5.
Oh, okay.
Not really. They were about 60 million away.
Okay.
But they were number 6.
So are you going to run down the top 10?
New York, $1.4 billion, the only $1 billion state.
Okay. 1.
Jersey, $927 million. Illinois was number 3 with $839.39 million, $840 million. Nevada, $589 million. Pennsylvania, $572. I'm just doing the millions. These are all millions. Mm-hmm. So Arizona, $512. Virginia was number 7 with just under $400 million.
Okay.
Michigan, $396 million. Colorado, $392. And rounding out the top 10 is Indiana.
Okay. Now these were April numbers.
Those are all the April top
numbers.
10 states.
Okay.
Total numbers for April nationwide.
Okay.
A handle of just under $7.5 billion.
Okay.
So that's the handle. Gross gaming revenue, $528 million. Adjusted gaming revenue, because some states do take out the promos, some don't. $452 million.
Okay.
A nationwide hold of 7%, which was actually pretty good. And taxes came in at around $110 million. nationwide.
I like the way the nation has to wait for Arizona to get their numbers in so we can do the complete April numbers. I think that's hilarious. I think Arizona does it on purpose.
Now here we have the national year-to-date numbers. This is January through June.
Okay. And it's not even that because Arizona hasn't reported yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay.
This is
right
the running
now,
total.
Okay, right now
$40 billion
Oh, wow. Okay.
in handle.
All right.
$2.6 billion in gross gaming revenue. The adjusted is $2.18, $2.2 billion.
Okay.
Hold of 6.6%. Taxes of $541 million.
Okay.
Now, the reason I brought up the national handle number, $40 billion, it's $40 billion for 2002, and we've done it in, 6 months?
2022.
2022.
Okay.
In 6 months,
Yeah.
January through June.
Yeah, no.
Last year, we didn't hit $40 billion until October.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a difference of about 4 months.
Well,
there.
a lot more states, too.
Yes.
So I shouldn't say a lot more states, but
And
there
if-
are states.
And if you look
states.
back at some of the handle
And by the
numbers-
way, let me tell you something. Next year, by this time,
Exactly.
the numbers are going to be incredible because I think Ohio is going to do amazing, and they start New Year's Day, right?
Yes.
So
Well, you also may have California.
I think they might be in the top 5 when we're talking this time next year. I think Ohio may be in the top 5.
At some point, you may see California too next year.
Yeah, well, they have a referendum.
They got 2 ballot initiatives, and the mobile. We'll talk about this in the legislative section, but the mobile initiative is actually starting to get some tribal backing.
Good.
But again, this is $40 billion in 6 months versus $40 billion in 8 months. And if you look back at the handle over the previous years, you can actually see it doubling. And that's a matter of more markets coming online,
Sure.
more books launching, and also some of the remote registration requirements are being dropped in certain areas.
And let's be honest, New York skewed those numbers
New York
off the
is,
charts. So.
New York is just blowing
Yeah.
everybody away here. But going back to what I had just said before, because Arizona reported their April numbers, Arizona is now the 11th state to cross the $4 billion handle lifetime mark.
See, that's why I'm saying Arizona does this on purpose, so we can talk about him in the news, and so
Separately.
so everyone can talk about him. So
It's almost like
now that
Spotlight on
Arizona has, hey, welcome to the party, Arizona.
This is almost like a community broadcast show. Spotlight on Arizona.
I'm joking around, but it's such a great market with great sports in there,
and they're just going to get bigger and bigger because more good books are going to launch. But they joined Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia as the $4 billion family.
Okay.
DraftKings became the second mobile operator in the state to clear $1 billion in handle.
Wow.
And the $16 million gross gaming revenue in April is an all-time monthly high for any operator mobile in the state. BetMGM also cleared $800 million in all-time handle.
Okay.
And let's see, DraftKings. They led the sports betting market share in that state with about 30%. FanDuel led the sports betting revenue share at about 55.6%. FanDuel has always thrown out some crazy numbers.
Oh yeah, no.
And, even though they didn't lead in handle, they led in revenue.
I use FanDuel all the time. I like it.
Virginia also reported their May numbers, and with that report, Virginia became the 9th state to clear $5 billion in total handle. They joined New Jersey, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Indiana, New York, Colorado, and Michigan.
Now, didn't Virginia just open up a casino or a temporary casino?
Well, we'll be talking about that.
We're going to be see, I'm jumping the gun.
That's okay.
Right.
You're fine with doing that.
And also, just a little teaser, I guess that would be the first official retail sports book in the state in history.
Exactly.
Yeah, a little sports betting history there.
It's actually still a temporary book.
Yeah.
But it's still a retail book.
Well, Hard Rock, right?
Yes,
Hard Rock?
Hard Rock. It's
Bristol.
in the Hard Rock Casino, Bristol, the Virginia Lottery also noted with this report that 5 of the 14 licensed operators are now eligible for taxation.
Oh, okay.
Which they've been having issues with. They just closed a tax loophole in their budget in terms of promo deductions.
Okay.
It's only going to be after the first year only, and after that you can't deduct promos.
All right.
So that's the way they address that. Now, New York reported their numbers for the week ending July 3rd, as well as all of June, too. Week ending July 3rd, Handle of $212.7 million. Gross gaming revenue, $20.2 million. That went up from the previous week.
Okay.
The handle went down, revenue went up.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's always good for a
That's
state.
good,
yes. FanDuel, remember last week we talked about how FanDuel had 24 weeks in a row of $100 million.
Sure.
They didn't hit it. They
Okay.
broke the streak at 24. Maybe we caused it. We're a jinx.
No,
So
right. It's like
I don't think we had anything to do with
the,
it, by the way.
in our Kiss of Death segment
Yes.
this week.
For the month of June, and this is kind of interesting, the mobile operators reported a handle of just over $1 billion in June.
Wow.
New York is the first state to ever have more than at least $1 billion or more in sports betting handle across 6 straight months.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's
Even
an incredible
Jersey
market.
didn't do that.
No.
So New York is just setting records over and over again.
Yeah, no. That's a different league. I mean, that's just the numbers are blowing people
Yes.
away. I mean, last year at this time we were talking about, oh boy, New York is going to be amazing. New York is going to be a monster. Even saying that, no one had any idea the numbers would be this good.
And this is actually even the slow period of the sports betting schedule.
Sure.
And also with that $6 billion, 6 straight months of $1 billion, they brought in over $300 million in taxes,
Yeah.
which is
let me tell you
sometimes that's more than some all-time state records.
When
for
football season
taxes.
starts, the numbers are going to be astronomical.
It's going to be
from New York.
It's going to be
anyway,
interesting to see how much more competitive Jersey's going to be in this second football season.
Hey,
You know, I mean, this is technically, I guess they had the playoffs and the Super Bowl for New York.
Let me tell you something. If you're going to a New York football game, either a Jets or a Giants,
Yes.
you have to go to New Jersey. And if you're going to be betting
Yes.
during the game, before, after, and after, I don't know why you're betting after the game, but betting before or during the game, you'll be betting in New Jersey. So New Jersey's going to get that. That's the benefit of New York teams playing in New Jersey and the Meadowlands.
Given the fact that the Jets' record last year dictates that they're probably going to have a lot of 1 o'clock games,
Okay.
the betting after is for the other games.
Now you're a Jets fan. Did you throw a little future money on the Jets?
I did over 5.5.
Over 5.5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gee, I thought that number was 7. But that was great. You got
I got
over 5.5.
I got 5.5.
Nice. All right.
Oh, that was when the schedule was released.
Okay.
So they, some of the books added up there. So I got 5.5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to take a chance because
Okay.
I think they're going to at least do 6 or 7.
Okay.
But
That's a good number. I for some reason I have to recheck it. I thought it was 7 or
no,
7.
I got 5.5 when
Okay.
I did it. So
Good.
But that's it for the numbers over the past week. Let's head on over to some deal making. Going to start off the deal section this week in Maryland. We've got Betfred. We haven't talked about Betfred too much lately.
I like Betfred.
Betfred's a really good outfit.
Yeah.
And they just did a deal with Long Shots of Frederick, Maryland, which is an independent OTB. It's going to be a sports book, too.
Okay. Good.
They are going to be doing retail and online sports betting once everything is approved regulatory standing-wise. They're going to have a temporary retail sports book adjacent to the Maryland Jockey Club OTB.
Okay.
And
Any word? When is Maryland starting? Is there any word?
the
coming out?
retail's already going.
I know, but mobile. When is any word on that? I mean, everyone I ask is just they're not sure.
Well, remember the letter the governor sent to the gaming
Yeah,
commission?
hurry it up.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
did nothing.
Okay.
That did
Wow.
nothing. They're hurrying, but they're hurrying slowly.
So
Let me put it that way.
no official word on when mobile sports betting in Maryland will
I mean,
start.
I know the governor wants it by NFL.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that
I don't
should
know
be-
if that's going to happen.
That should be the priority of everyone in that
The
state.
question I have is what Maryland wants to happen when they launch. Do they want everyone at once, which means you're going to have to wait, or do they want to do piecemeal?
Because that's like Ohio, right? Everyone at once in
Yeah, it's gonna be a
November,
shotgun in
January
Ohio, yeah.
1st in Ohio.
Yeah,
so
I don't know exactly what the deal is with Maryland in terms of do they want everyone starting on the same footing, or are they going to do
all right.
the retail partnered online books first?
Well,
the stadium
I'm
books
with the
first?
governor of Maryland on this one.
It would be nice to see
hurry
him-
up.
Yeah,
Hurry
and
up.
every Maryland sports bettor is I mean, luckily they can go
sure.
to neighboring states. They got Virginia, they've got
Well, I mean,
they've
all-
got Delaware,
like you
they've
said,
got
they have-
New Jersey, all those things. So they're surrounded. They got West Virginia next to them, all that. So it's I don't know. It's going to be up to the wagering committee there. But
right.
temporary retail book at the Maryland Jockey Club OTB for Betfred.
Okay.
Then there's going to be a permanent state-of-the-art sports book with a video wall and theater-style seating just after the first of the year at the location. So they're going to
I like that style.
The stadium
sports
seating?
book. The stadium seating one. I don't get me wrong.
It's very comfortable.
I love
Very
Borgata, and I love going there when I'm down in Atlantic City. But they have a style. It's a sports bar style sports book, which, I mean, if you didn't know you can place bets there, you'd think it's a sports bar in a restaurant. It got tables everywhere and stuff like that. But I kind of like the stadium seating.
Yeah, and also I like, some of these guys, some of the books have not only cup holders and little trays next to them, but they also have the USB ports.
Yeah.
That's a nice added feature that I've been seeing everywhere.
That's almost necessary now with in-game betting.
Oh yeah, especially when you're running
especially
four or five different books.
Especially
on
like
your
me,
apps,
I could be sitting in a sports book and I'm still betting on my phone.
Good, it's easier than getting up out of your seat.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I got a nice, comfortable seat. I got the wall in front of me. Oh, I got to go all the way over there to place a bet. No, I'm going to sit in my phone and do it. So
moving on to IMG Arena, as I teased at the top of the show, IMG Arena announced a sports data partnership with Major League Soccer.
Okay.
IMG Arena is Major League Soccer's official data distribution partner. This deal was worth about $170 million from various reports. It's a multi-year deal. It's going to create new live soccer data streams from Major League Soccer, and also IMG Arena is going to be using their marketing tools in terms of helping promote Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
And also the betting windows too for them. The increased amount of data is very helpful for a league. For a league.
Soccer betting is incredibly popular, I can tell you, in New Jersey, because just the eyeball test, there are a bunch of sports bars, especially on the weekends, especially Sunday morning. I mean, very early, they're open, and they have all the guys who like the soccer, and they have their soccer jerseys on, and they're going there. And they're betting when you're watching the game and stuff like that. So there's a couple of sports bars around central Jersey that do that. It's it's a soccer club or something.
Anywhere you have like an Irish pub, or an Irish themed bar, you're going to see one channel is always on that. Was it beIN Sports? And it's constant soccer on that.
Yeah.
But then you also have some of the other Directv channels that are just all soccer too.
Sure.
I mean, soccer is almost 24/7 now.
Yeah.
Somewhere you're going to find a soccer league.
Well, that's
playing.
the great thing. If you want to bet early in the morning, that's the only, really the only sport there. I mean, because of the time differences. You have a live game at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Unless someone starts the ping pong channel,
Yeah,
which is over in the Asian Rim a lot more so than anything else, and that's early morning. And also you have rugby.
Yeah,
rugby is getting
another
popular now too, and we're starting to see a lot more betting associated with rugby. But this is Major League Soccer; it's the American leagues, and we're starting to see the teams getting into the sports betting deals. We had the Dynamos make a deal with PointsBet, even though there's no sports betting in Texas.
Okay.
Which still blows my mind that they're doing. It's market access. I understand that. And a couple of the other ones we had DC United had the first retail book in a Major League Soccer stadium. Mm-hmm. So we're starting to see Major League Soccer get more and more into all this.
Hey, I was meaning to tell you, I almost, told you about this the other day. It was between innings in a baseball game, so I was flipping around the channels, and I actually, I didn't even know they were into season. Canadian football, CFL.
Yeah. Yep.
It was Saskatchewan Roughriders, and is it strange? Ottawa Black Reds or Red Blacks or
Red
something?
Jacks.
No, Red Blacks, because they were red and black.
Well, that's the PointsBet team.
I don't even know.
PointsBet Canada has
if
a
that
deal
was
with
Ottawa
those
or
guys.
not. But the thing was, they had these. I don't know what they're actually called. These projections on the field, the advertising things that they project on the field.
Yeah.
It was Poker Stars.
Well, they just got their license up there.
It was like, oh my God, Poker Stars. I'm looking at Poker Stars in Canadian football. Okay.
Well, when the Red Black Stadium, I'm not sure what the name is either. So going with that stadium, they have an entire PointsBet section because PointsBet Canada did the deal with them. And
it wasn't PointsBet, it was Poker Stars.
But
though.
no, that's the TV deal.
Oh, okay.
Because Poker Stars just got their license in Ontario, and they're launching the online casino, the online poker, sports betting through, it's Flutter. So it's also FanDuel.
So we got off track, huh?
Oh yeah, totally.
When we
always
start
do.
talking Saskatchewan Rough Riders, we just drifted away.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
Wasn't
there two teams named the Rough Riders?
Ottawa Rough Riders, Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
Well, maybe that was it. Ottawa
changed their
Red
name.
Blacks.
Yeah, Ottawa
Black
changed
Reds,
their name.
Reds Blacks, or something like that. That's the color of their uniforms.
I still remember, what was it, the Montreal Alouettes?
Are they still around?
I don't know if they're
They
still
were
around.
owned by John Candy.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so. Yeah.
And Doug Flutie was on one of the other teams.
Oh, yeah. He won a couple Grey Cups.
Yeah.
And also, Warren Moon, the Edmonton Eskimos. I don't think they're called Edmonton Eskimos anymore.
No, I don't know if that name would fly anymore.
I don't know. Is that politically incorrect? I
don't
guess.
know.
I guess it would be because they changed the name. So,
rounding out the section, we have Huddle Tech. Huddle Tech is a company that's the result of a merger of Huddle and Deck Prism Sports.
Okay.
Ed Miller and Matthew David.
Oh, okay.
They are now Huddle Tech. And
Huddle Tech.
They did a deal with Odds-On Compliance for catering to the needs of the iGaming industry more so than sports betting, but it does include sports betting too.
Great.
And Odds-On Compliance has their playbook solution.
I interviewed them a couple of years ago.
Yes, for their book.
Yeah. They actually had a book. Yeah.
The Logistics of Sports Betting.
Yes.
But this is for...
Ed Miller is big in poker, too.
Yes,
So
he still is.
He's a legend in poker.
Yes. But this is for regulatory compliance.
Okay.
So Odds-On has the playbook solution, which once you log into that, you're all up to date on whatever's going on regulatory-wise across the country.
Okay.
So you can actually better advise people.
All right.
So congratulations on that
to
Ed and Matthew there. Couple quick updates industry-wise. We have England's Premier League. With everything going on over in the UK with regarding Boris Johnson, a lot of these talks,
that's a mess now.
That's a mess.
Yeah.
But Premier League, when it was first brought up that England wanted to do a complete ban on shirt sponsorships, that would impact the teams very harshly.
Sure.
So the Premier League decided that they were going to be ditching the front of shirt sponsorships, and just going with the smaller sleeve sponsorship, which seemed to appease everybody.
I know in England they wanted to do a complete overhaul of the gambling laws, but
they're
I don't know what's going on right now. I
think
think
going to at some point.
Is that a full stop right now, or is that delayed because of what's happening? It's the resignation of Boris Johnson.
It's a full delay because when Boris Johnson did his resignation, about another 50 cabinet people announced their resignation as well, and one of
everything's
them
up in
was
the air.
running the gambling paper.
Okay,
that was going to be introduced. So, but again, Premier League wants to go just to shirt sponsor. Doesn't want to ditch shirt sponsorships completely. They want to do the sleeves.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes, but that may change again when the white paper comes out in the UK. FanDuel changed their promotional language. The CEO, Amy Howe, came out and said that they are getting rid of the risk-free language in their promotions. They are going with the phrase, no sweat.
No sweat.
No sweat bets. According to the new promos that are coming down the road, if not out there already, FanDuel is offering new customers a $1,000 no sweat first bet instead of a risk-free first bet.
Speaking as if you're a marketer, you must love that. It kind of rhymes.
Yeah,
it kind of sticks in your head.
Yeah, it's a little jingle within itself.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's getting praise from a lot of the responsible gambling advocates in the country.
That's what they got to do. The sportsbook have to incorporate jingles into their commercials. Yeah,
New Jersey and New York still do jingles. I mean, a lot of
not
places,
for sports books.
No, but at some point you're going to have to
get some jingles involved.
But again, that's
humming
a
songs.
Step in the right direction. Everyone said that everyone was getting. A lot of people were confused as to what really a risk-free bet was. Mm-hmm. They thought they were getting their money back to use elsewhere.
Yeah,
and not promotional bets.
Yeah.
So that was a smart move on FanDuel's part to change some of the language there.
Good.
The score bet, since they stopped operating July 1st, in Illinois.
They stopped operating
everywhere,
in the
United States, all over. In Illinois, it impacted a casino.
Oh, all right.
Because Harrah's Joliet now does not have a mobile partner.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see exactly. I'm assuming that's going to be handed off to Barstool Sports.
I don't.
Since everything that went Score is now going to Barstool.
Score trying to push everyone to Barstool? I mean, we're going to stop operating, so here you go. So,
but I don't know how that impacts licensing language.
Okay, all right.
So we'll see there. Big news was Rush Street Interactive launching Rush Bet in Mexico.
Yeah.
That caught me by surprise, but
They have now in Mexico a potential 130 million customers. So it was a good move. Now this is online casino and sports.
It's casino
right?
and sportsbook online. But the one thing that makes this very, very potentially lucrative here is not just the actual launching of the book, but who their partner is.
Okay.
They're partnered with a multimedia group, Grupo Multimedios. They are the biggest television, radio, advertising billboard
firm
in the country.
Flood the market with commercials.
Exactly. They're going to have TV, radio. They're going to have billboards.
We thought
digital.
It was crazy in New Jersey and New York.
Yes.
Wait till you see Mexico City.
And also their partners down there run Media Tiempo, which is a digital sports property.
Okay.
So they're going to have basically their own channel.
That's great. They've got everything in place. It was a good move.
A couple other launches to hit. Ballybet launch in New York finally, the ninth and final licensed mobile sports book.
So that is it for online
until they issue more licenses.
That was the final license.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So. But also the Ballybet is also received their license in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Ontario. They ballybet.ca got their license. They also registered ballybet.ca, ballycasino.ca, bally'scasinos.ca, and bally'sbet.ca.
Okay.
They registered all those domain names and marks.
Good.
So they're covering all their bases. We just talked a little bit about Hard Rock Casino becoming the first retail sports book in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Yep.
That is in the temporary Hard Rock Casino Bristol. That's going to be opening a permanent site down the road here.
Yeah,
probably in the next couple of months.
I heard the permanent one is 2024. I think that's what
2024.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay,
so they could be
that's a year and a half
away.
away.
Yeah.
So
well, it's going to be huge.
Yes.
I think I read a report where I saw the comparison between the temporary one, which is like 30,000 square feet of gaming floor. I was around that. I don't know what the exact thing is, but the new one could have up to 100,000 square feet of gaming floor and casino floor. So it's going to be, it's great that they have a temporary one where people can go and enjoy, but I think the permanent one is going to be absolutely amazing.
Well, let's finish up with some legislative updates. Real quickly, starting in North Carolina, even though the mobile sports betting bill is dead for this year, it didn't stop the president of the Carolina Hurricanes from criticizing everything.
Okay.
Well, the team plans to launch a retail book in the stadium. Their new stadium.
Sure.
So he was a little disappointed that the legislature did not pass it, and he wants them to try and get it all worked out as soon as possible. They want some additional revenue from the book. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
but again, the next time the legislature meets is around July 26th. Mm-hmm. We'll see if they actually talk sports betting. They've set up a whole bunch of different dates for the rest of the year to talk different bills that they didn't get to in the main session. Mm-hmm. So they set up additional sessions. Okay. At some point, they hope to get it done. Even a couple of the representatives have said that they hope that something can get done before the end of the year. So we'll see what happens there. That's the news out of Massachusetts as well.
Same thing. So nothing really.
They hope the committee.
It's in committee, right?
The committee meetings are going, and at the last Spectrum Gaming National Congress of Legislators and Gaming States that they just had in Boston, one of the representatives said that they hope to have an agreement in place by July 31st.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to happen. They said they're progressing.
Wait. Let me step back a little bit. They had a conference of gaming states.
Yes.
And they had it in Boston?
Yes.
In a state that doesn't have gaming?
Yes.
Well, they have gaming, but they don't have online or anything like that or sports. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's also the home of DraftKings.
Well, okay. It's interesting they would choose Massachusetts, which has the least amount of gaming that these people are. Well, the attendees are coming from.
Again, maybe at the time they made the plans, it was moving ahead, and they figured, maybe there is going to be sports.
They'd be in the conference when Massachusetts
it's gaming, not just sports betting. So,
okay.
But sports betting was one of the topics. Up in Maine, according to Milton Champion, the Maine Gambling Control Unit's executive director, they're going to be releasing rules and regulations by late fall.
Good.
And he's already reported that at least 12 different entities, including the NFL, has reached out to introduce themselves and start offering information about what they can do in terms of sports betting in the state.
And that's Maine.
That's
right?
Maine. Maine is moving faster than Massachusetts.
Yeah, I like Maine.
Over in California, we're going to end up with California here. As we said earlier, 2 ballot initiatives, one for retail with the Native American tribal casinos, and one for mobile sports betting through all the biggies, including Fanatics now, too.
Interesting.
Right now, the mobile proposal seems to be getting more support from some of the smaller Native American tribes in the state.
Great.
They're up to 3 Native American tribes supporting this ballot initiative when it wasn't any Native American tribes. And there's a whole campaign from both sides just trashing each other.
Okay.
And it's kind of fun to watch that, but it's also
Have they done any polling in California about these?
No.
Is it popular, or is it not popular, or is it just all of a sudden now? I think that's what you're going to see in the next couple of months. You're going to see polling on these things.
They're probably doing constant polling.
Yeah.
It's just they're not releasing the numbers yet. Okay. And also, the polling dictates the way you do the PR campaigns, too.
Sure.
So if you see it getting nasty, the polling's probably pretty close.
Sure.
So that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Keep the press releases coming in. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com. If you've been following along on TV, the ticker had additional news stories that we didn't talk about in this episode. And also at turnpikesports.us, click on our blog button, and you'll see a full print version of this Turnpike Sports Book Report, including stories we didn't talk about on the air this week. And just keep on sending in those press releases. We'll keep reporting the news.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.